So I needed a certain size of a table. I couldn't find it. So what I ended up doing was buying a tabletop off of Etsy. I got it the size I wanted. I want to say this is a 38 inches in diameter. And that's just really hard to find as a side table, right? So I had a little table already that had kind of like a pedestal type bowl on the top. Well, Ralph said he could take that top off. And so I'm going to use that base and I'm going to put this top on there after I paint it up a little bit. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do though. So I've got some embossing medium. I've got a couple of jars that I need to finish up. I just don't know how much this is going to take. So luckily I had another jar. And then I have this roller, and look at it up close. It's like a, what do they call that? Crocodile. So what this is, it's just a texture medium. This is nice and smooth. It's like a cream. It's like a lotion is what I would say. It's like a lotion. And it dries hard. So we're going to spread it on. I'm going to get the texture on there. And that's all we'll be able to do today. The texture has to harden. And then I plan on painting it. Anyway, let's just take it from right here. I'm just going to go ahead and start spreading. Okay. I'm even going to put it on the around the sides as well. Hopefully you can see that. It doesn't matter how well, you spread it, like you don't have to get some kind of even look because you're going to be rolling that roller in there. I'm just using a light hand too, y'all, right here, a light hand. I'm just really going easy right here. I hope you can see this right here. Okay. I'll try to speed it up. Try not to be, and I'll save the, maybe I'll save the sides for last because that you can't really see when I do that anyway. Just a piece of styrofoam beside me. I'm gonna roll this off, but see how it cakes in there? So I'm trying to decide. It's caking up so it won't roll. It rolls fine with, on a hard surface. All right, but it just keeps dragging. So I don't know if I thought I had it too thick. I mean, that's better. That's better, right? But I don't know if y'all can see the texture. But it's still like, I don't know. Let's see. Wait, that's working. Okay, that's working, y'all. Let's see, let me come backwards just a little bit right there. Uh-oh. See right there? All right, it got kind of caked again. But do you see this? Okay, so it's gonna have to work. Hold on. All right, and I'm rolling it on this piece of plywood here. I can always scrape some off of here. But it's kind of like how, you know, when you're stamping, you got to clean off your stamp every once in a while. So, come up here. Come off of it just a hair. It's rolling, but it gets so thick. And look right there. A little thin. I'm just gonna get some of the excess off over here. Although, look at that, y'all. Looks good. Hold on. One spot up here. I'm going to try to go over because it's just a little bare right there. Everywhere else looks good. Let me just see what happens. There. I fixed it. All right, now this has a little bit too high. I don't know if you can see it, so I'm going to roll over it. It had a bunch on there. Can y'all hear that? And then right here it looks a little thin, so I'm going to roll it back over it. Well, I kind of like that. Let's see if I can do it around the sides. Actually, yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's not going to roll on the side. Let's see if I can do it this way. It really doesn't matter on the sides because you can't really tell, you know, what the pattern is on the sides, but you want something. All right, so if you can see it, let's zoom in a little bit. See that texture? So you can see, I've already primed it. So I did sand it. I took a little sanding block and I sanded it all over. And then I primed it. It's stuck. I primed it using this Paint Couture Sure Prep Bonding Primer. Now the reason I did that is really just to give it a nice base to start with. Because some of it, just a little bit, especially around the edges, was showing through. Like I didn't get it totally covered with the embossing medium. And we are gonna paint. So, I know you may be thinking, okay, you have texture on a tabletop. Yes, but I am going to be resining it. I'm actually going to probably put 2 coats of resin, which, you know, is self-leveling, and you won't really even feel the texture, okay, because of the resin. So let's just get started. I've got several steps I'm going to do for this. I hope I have enough paint. I'm going to be using Couture Copper. This is a metallic paint by Paint Couture. And I always want to stir it up really well because the mica powders are at the bottom. Just stir that up, and I'm just going to start painting. That's another reason I primed it, to get a good base coat before I, because if not, I probably would have had to use several coats of the metallic. So, all right, let's just get started. I'm just gonna I'll just start right in the middle, actually, just so you can see. And these metallics are so pretty. Okay. And you can really see the texture coming out too. Actually, I probably should start going around the edges first. I don't know if you can, let me back you up a little bit. And you can still sand too after you prime if you, but this primer, I used to use the Ben primer by Zinsser. It dries really fast and really dry, you know, where you can sand it back. But this one dries really smooth. So it's really nice. And usually when I prime it, I only need one coat, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, you wouldn't want to, like if you see some spots where you think are, you know, I think it's just the way it's drying. I'm not sure, but and the light is reflecting. But let it dry. Just let it go ahead and dry before you try to, you know, do anything else to it. Because you don't want to overwork it and get that paint kind of mucked up. So just let it dry. It's not going to hurt to do another coat on it. All right, so what I'm going to do, I have this glaze. Okay, this is also by Paint Couture, and it's Van Dyke Brown. So I'm going to kind of just knock the sheen off a little bit. I'm kind of just seeing what I want to do as I go. I'm going to just brush on the glaze. Okay. I love this glaze. It has a long working time, so you don't have to be afraid of using it. And I'm just going to brush it on. I'm going to brush it on the sides. I didn't top coat. I didn't top coat this. You don't have to. It'll still wipe back. And I do like to do it in sections though. Even though you have a good amount of working time, you don't want to do the whole tabletop and then come back. You don't have to get this, you know, in any particular, you don't have to smooth it out because you're going to be rubbing it back. Now you could, I guess, take a brush and just lightly brush some on if you didn't want to go through rubbing it back. So let's just go ahead and start doing that a little bit and I'll show you. Alright, so I do have, and it may be a little different with this, the texture on here. So I do have like a damp staining pad, and I probably should have grabbed several. Alright. So I'll just start right here. And I'm just gonna kind of lightly, see how it comes off, lightly rub that off. I need some more. Do I have my water? Yeah, let me squirt this a little more. It's kind of dry. See that? See how that copper comes back out? I'll just do. You can even put water on this if you need to, and I like to stand up. And you can take as much or as little, you know, as you want off. So, let me pull this. Should have put some gloves on. So see, it's going to get down into those flat areas, and then it'll kind of cling to the raised. Let me stand up and see what that's looking like. Ooh, I'm loving that. Okay, I'm loving that. I think I'm going to leave it like that. All right, I have to rinse that out some more. I just flipped it around on the part that didn't have so much. And look, if you kind of wipe too much off, it's kind of hard for me to see because I have a light on shining right on it. But you can always come back and add more. I'm not wiping really hard, I'm just kind of a soft touch. And then where those flat areas are, I'm kind of like going back over it. So you can see the difference. Not glazed, glazed, and then of course that's got some on there. All right, let me rinse this out really quick. But see how easy it is? I did want to just show you how easy it is. So you could do this on, even if you didn't want to do texture, you know, like I did, you could still paint something in glaze. I feel like I got it pretty evenly. Maybe a little much right in here. I don't know. I kind of like it in different areas having a lot. And now I'm going to pour some resin, okay? So let's just come on down. Get this, see how much we can get to the table. Now, so I've got my resin here and I've got a cup. Now what I did, because it's cold today, I've had my windows replaced today and it's like 50 degrees, and so it's just been really cool, and I'm down in my basement, which is even cooler. So I turned the heat on, and then I put my resin, this is epoxy resin, I put it in my closet on my heater vents because it was warm, and resin likes to be warm, okay? So let's just get started. So it's just kind of warm to the touch. You can also kind of like set it in some warm water. But let's see, I'm not even sure how much I need. I'm thinking 2 to 3 ounces per square foot. And so this is, since it's round, I actually had to look it up, y'all. I think it's like 7.8 square feet or something. So I'm just gonna say it's almost 8 square feet. And so I'm gonna do like 20 ounces. I'm gonna go in between 2.5 and the 3. And so I'm using this cup, and so it's marked, okay? So part A, I'm gonna go up to, I'm just gonna do, just to make it easy, I'm gonna go a little past the 20 mark since it has this mark, 2 2/3. So because you have to do each part equally, I'm gonna do 1 1/3 and then go up to this 2 2/3 and then I'll be equal, okay? So here we go. I'm just gonna start with my part A. And this is one of a couple of coats I think I'm gonna do. Let's see. So I'm gonna go up to 1 1/3. Gosh, this is nerve-wracking. Okay, I think that's good. It's up to the 1 1/3. All right. And I'm going to go up to the 2 2/3 mark. So again, it's by volume and not weight, okay? Because one of them does actually weigh more than the other. You saw that one's thicker. All right, and then you stir for like 3 minutes. And of course, I don't have my watch on, so let me see what time it is. 4:22. So 4:25 or 26, it'll be time to pour. So you want to stir it. I feel like this is a lot of resin. But you know what? I actually have another project that needs one more coat, and so there's always something I can use my excess resin on. So you want to keep that in mind because you don't want to waste your resin. But you scrape the sides, okay, like I'm doing, and scrape the bottom. All right, I think it's time I can start pouring. I think it's been quite enough time. All right, just want to make sure everything's clean. Here we go. First coat of resin, I'm just gonna pour it on. Something on the bottom of this. Let's see, yeah. Okay, so I usually just end up using my fingers. And I'm gonna come all the way to the edge with my hands. Now, I probably, if I had planned well, I would have taped the very bottom of the table. But it's okay, because I'll keep going around checking it. I'm going to probably have to get up and walk. I hope I don't trip this time. So even though this has texture, when I get done, it should be nice and smooth and evened out. And you do want to kind of keep doing this, like for about 15 minutes, really. You just want to keep checking it because drips will form and they will harden into drips, which you can get them off with a heat gun, but probably just be better not to have to fool with that. There will be a few bubbles, so we're gonna pop those with my heat gun and my torch, we'll see. Yeah, so see this, I have a good amount here. Make sure I have it all the way around the edges. Make sure it's not puddled up anywhere. So I think this is good. All the way around. Alright. It's dripping. Alright, now this will self-level, so you don't have to worry about about getting it even when you rub it in, okay? So, again, you want to make sure to keep rubbing underneath there, and I would change gloves. Just what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to take these off. Go grab some new ones real quick. Alright, so there are little bubbles. Y'all probably can't see it because they're very tiny, but I'm going to get my thumb. I'm going to try my torch. I'm not sure if there's any gas in it, but I'm going to go ahead and try it. Yeah, I hear it. Okay, so I'm just using this little kitchen torch. You can see it popping the bubbles. I don't know if I don't turn my torch up high enough. I'm going to try my heat gun as well. But that looks really good. It's a little deceiving since it has all the texture, but I don't see all the big bubbles. But let me try this. Well, I don't think I can reach it. I'm just going to pull it closer this way real quick. Y'all, I think that's good. Now what I meant by checking I'm going to put another glove on, and I'm going to walk around under the table. So see how I get resin from under the table. See, it's on my hand. And I'll do this about 4 or 5 times. Just to make sure it's not dripping. And I will take my heat gun or my torch and go over it maybe a couple more times, because bubbles will still pop up. And now I'm going to add some more resin, and I'm going to add as well, I want to put in, I've got mica powders in this spray alcohol, which I've never done this before, y'all, so I'm going to just gonna play and see. I also have a little bit of gold. So if you've ever resin, you know that alcohol will not affect the resin. In fact, you can pop some of the bubbles with the alcohol. So you're killing 2 birds doing this. All right, so what I just did, now when I said I've got pigments in here, I took these perfect pigments. Okay, this is gold. This is a gold pigment powder. And I just put it in a little bit of alcohol, okay? So this is, how you say, isopropyl alcohol. You know, it's like 91%. And I just put a little bit, and then I put like 2 little spoonfuls, this little bitty spoon. So it's probably an 1/8 of an ounce. Like this is a 1/4 of an ounce, and I just put 2 little teaspoons. And they're not teaspoons, little spoons. All right, so I'm gonna mix up the resin here. Okay, I think that's got you good. So see how nice, and so it is pretty smooth. There are a little bit of a few areas where the texture is still, where you can still feel it, just because it was higher in some points, in some parts, I should say, right around here, and just where the texture was a little higher. So hopefully this coat will even it all out now. Here's what I have. This is what I'm gonna play with. And I almost made up some turquoise as well. But, so I think this is, I have 2 actually. I have 2 bottles. One has more mica in it. I just didn't know how much to make. This one's not much. I'm gonna start with this one. But it has a mica powder in it like this, but it's called Aged Cafe, so it's kind of a bronzy, dark bronzy color. You just shake it and get it just getting all the mica powder that settle to the bottom, mixed up. And then I'm gonna start up high. Okay, I'm like this, but I'm just up high. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it is popping the bubbles at least. I think it's because this doesn't have much in it, so I'm gonna get the one that has a good bit in it. It's just getting dark. Dark right there. But I like, can y'all see where it kind of goes down and it does all these little bitty, and it kind of looks like it's hammered. So we'll kind of get closer. There we go. There we go. Now that'll just kind of keep dissolving. Remember, it self-levels, so even while I'm doing this, it'll level back out. I feel like rubbing it all together and then just doing the gold, letting the brown seep down all over. Yeah, I love the dark too. I know that the light is throwing me though. I can't see everywhere I want to see. I don't want it to look too like even. This is a better way to mix it up though, just so you won't have like this little texture it's giving it. All right, y'all, I think I'm gonna stop there. See, you know, but I'm looking down in the light, but I can see a lot of the different colors now. Whew. And I think I probably will go get my heat gun. You know, for some reason you're resining something and you don't like how it cures, you can always redo it, okay? You can always pour the resin again. So, with that said, I am now loving it. I brought it up here. Let me show you this. So, Ralph has put it on this table base, as you can see, right? This is, I had this on it. This was on the table base. It screwed on there, so we just took it off. And again, I got this from Etsy. So look, we just screwed it on here. And it works perfect. It's just a great little table base. Now, I'm going to show you how to get some of these drips off here. Let me turn it where I can get a good pile of drips. So, resin self-levels, right? And so, and y'all, I went around it tons of times wiping under it. I didn't tape it, which would have been a good idea. But I'm so over this. I wanted it done. So, just lean it down. I got a stool over there. I just want to show you real quickly. Now, so see these little drips? Okay? All you have to do, if you did not tape it up, so you just heat up. Just hold your heat gun up to the drips. Okay? This will take, it doesn't take long to get them loosened up. Y'all see it flying off? That's it, y'all. It heats up quickly and you just go all the way around and get that off. Okay? So, I will do that all the way around. Y'all don't need to sit there and watch me do it all the way around. I'm going to sand that little bitty section. I can't even find it. I mean, you can't see it, but you can feel it. Right here. It's just a little rough right there where the sheet that I had. And so what I'll do, I'll take my sandpaper and see, that may scare you when you go to sand the resin, but don't let it, because you're just sanding the resin. Okay, you're not gonna do anything to your paint job or the table or anything like that. And so when I go to fix it, okay, which, you could just leave it, but I can't leave it. All right, so when you sand your resin pieces, it's gonna look like you've ruined it, but you haven't, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that, because when I go what I'm gonna do, next time I resin something, I'm just gonna take my gloved hand and just rub right here with resin. That's all you gotta do to fix it, and that will turn clear again, okay? So that's some of the sanding that I just did. Okay, so now let's go back down to the base of the table. Okay, so you can see I don't really want to do anything extra. I don't want to paint it or anything like that. So what I got this copper wax from Amy Howard, okay? So it looks good with this. So if you can see, there's a little bit of highlights on this, but it's gold, okay? It's gold. So all I'm gonna do is take the wax. Now her waxes are a bit smelly, because they're petroleum waxes. So I'm just gonna take a little bit out onto my plate here. and use just a chip brush. Didn't want to use any of my other wax brushes because all those waxes I've used have been water-based. So anyway, I'm just loading this up with the wax. Okay, and then I'm just gonna get it up just a tad. I'm just gonna kind of dry brush right there, okay, where it's gold. I'm just gonna make it copper. See that? And I mean, how easy is that, right? And of course, you can add it all over where there is no highlight. I like a lot of it. So you can do that. And then at the bottom, okay, so I'll do the same thing, just right here, just kind of go back and forth. Wherever it's gold, it is now copper, and where there's nothing, I will add some copper. Okay. And so for the base down there, same thing. Now I may wipe some back, but I don't have a cloth here. But so I will, hit that heat gun. I'll just rub some in here. And this is a flat area right here, so it's not gonna show up too much, but which is good. It got down in these crevices, and so I will get a rag. The lighting's not good, y'all. I'm right here in my foyer, and it's just so bright. I got the sun coming right in. And so it remains right down there in the crevices. Whoops, I don't want to get that close. I don't see a lot of copper waxes. That's when I got Amy Howard's wax. It's good. I prefer the water-based, but hey. And so I'll just go all the way around and do that. Now, I guess if you wanted to, you could paint it or whatever. But I love that. And so now, you can see it all together, which is kind of hard, but it looks great. That color copper is really reflecting off this. It's just tying it all in together. So I love it. So that's it, y'all. My table saga. I'm glad to have it finished. Almost. I see the light. I see the light at the end of this tabletop tunnel. That's right. So anyway, that's it, y'all. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks for joining me. I'll see you later. Bye.